Alright guys, welcome back to another video here on Hoopz Talks. Today we're going to be going over why the Brooklyn Nets didn't work out the way they should have and what happened to the super team that was to be but ended up being super flops. Let's get right into it. Alright, so let's start it off with the most obvious problem for this group of players. It was Kyrie Irving. He was unavailable for a large majority of the season, which did make it harder for not just the players but the entire organisation. Because I feel like, throughout the season in the media and just little things are being leaked, there was a lot of noise regarding him all season and his inability to play. It was like he was the only, storyline we had this season. And if you pair this with the fact that the Nets are paying him $35 million a year. He's Kevin Durant's best friend. Kevin Durant won't let him go. They won't let him trade him. You're paying this guy $35 million a year. It must have been frustrating for the communications between the players and the office, which sort of slides hand in hand into my next point. Still on the Kyrie topic, I feel like James Harden leaving was majoritively to do with the fact that Kyrie Irving wasn't playing or he wasn't pulling his weight, and sort of resultantly he felt like he wasn't being treated to the same caliber of superstar as the other two, which I mean, it's fair enough. You go into a team, put yourself in Harden's situation for a second, put ourselves in Harden's shoes for a second. You go to this team expecting to be the greatest ever trio or whatever, 3 MVP level players, blah, blah, blah. You get there and you're dealing with this entire mess. I would dip out if I was Harden as well, and I feel like a lot of us would. So ultimately, he shipped himself for Philly for Ben Simmons. Could Ben Simmons come back and be the piece that Brooklyn need? Yes, but I'm very cautious on Simmons right now. Because he seems like, to me, he doesn't have his affair together. But just pausing it on Simmons for a second, we'll be back with Simmons a bit later. But on to the next pillar to fall in this empire of the Nets. It was the injury bug. I feel like the injury bug had them headlocked for a lot of the season. Joe Harris especially missing the entire season. His 3-point shooting and solid, not great, like superstar or all-star or even super above average or whatever, but it was solid defense that he was putting out there. I feel like him missing was very detrimental to the Nets. Not even just his skill set, but also the layout that they had on the court. They had 3 guards out a lot of the time. With Joe Harris there, it would have been just a little bit easier for him to have a bit more size on the court. I think their size is also a major problem. Andre Drummond playing only 20 minutes a game. Steve Nash playing 3 guards at once on the court. They do need a little bit of length and a bit of height, and just a bit more sort of scrappy players on the team who are going to play tough defense. Kevin Durant being hurt as well was probably the worst thing that could happen to this team this season, because I mean, he's their closer, he's the guy they go to, he's literally the man in Brooklyn, and for him to miss a stretch while all these other outside factors with Kyrie and Harden's unhappy and this and that were all going on as well, I feel like for the rest of the players on the team, it really derailed them. I mean, coming from being an MVP frontrunner and the 1 seed to barely making the play-in and getting swept in the first round, I mean, it's crazy how much a few months can change. I think the fact that they missed his leadership both on and off the court while he was injured also sort of relayed onto the play of the other guys as well, which was quite detrimental for the team. The next bone I have to pick with this Brooklyn Nets squad is Steve Nash. He's not been a major problem, but sort of like a slight little annoyance throughout the season. His lack of experience, his poor rotations, and I feel like his just general ability to keep up with other coaches around the league. I do think Steve Nash should be given another season, just despite his circumstances and stuff. Everything he has to deal with this season, pretty out of the ordinary, pretty wild. So I do think he should be given another chance to at least prove himself. If it's the same thing next season, gotta sack him off. Finally, my last reason, if you want to call it that, is Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is the person I really despise in the NBA right now. He probably doesn't even know I exist, but he really has got on my nerves this season. He forced his way out of Philly, claiming he's ready to play, and then he just dips out, has loads of people wondering what's going on for ages. I mean, he's soft, that's the end of it. He really should have played at least 10-12 minutes in that Boston series just to show sort of Nets fans that he's standing with the guys and he's serious and he's ready to make movements. Of course, if he is injured and he genuinely had something wrong with him, I take all my comments back. But I just feel like he's not got his affairs in order and he's just really mucking about at the moment. Especially through that Celtics series, we really could have used him. But if he's not available, he's not available. And that's all I have for you guys today. Do leave a like, subscribe if you're not already. All my links are in the description down below. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.